Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nine Lives Energy. My name is Chrissy Smith, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thank you so much for joining me, not only on this full moon that we have in Pisces, but this one is most auspicious because we are having a lunar eclipse in Pisces today. So let's talk about all the things that Pisces rules. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It rules the 12th house, and it is governed by Neptune in modern astrology, but in traditional astrology, it is ruled by Jupiter, and it co-rules Sagittarius. So it's important for us to kind of see not only where Pisces is going to be in our chart during this particular transit. Lunar eclipses actually have an influence in our lives and in the collective for the next 6 months. And solar eclipses have an influence for the next year. So if you do not know how to figure out what your birth chart information is, it would be very good for you to figure out what your rising sign is. And I'm going to go over that here in just a little bit. But if you do follow my channel and you get something out of astrology, make sure that you give this a like and comment below about maybe some things that you might be letting go of, because this is what this lunation is all about. It's about letting go. And not only is the full moon about letting go, but Pisces is also about letting go. So before we get into it, go and visit this website called astroseek.com. I'm going to pull this up real quickly so you guys can see how to figure out what your birth chart information is. So let me pull this up. Share this tab instead. All right, so we don't want to be buying pocketbooks, okay? This is just the astroseek information. So you can put your information in here where it says astrology charts. So again, this is astroseek.com. And after you enter in your information, you do need to write in what time you were born and also your birth city, because this is going to tell you what your rising sign is. So after we hit calculate, okay, this is what is going to show up. So this is the eclipse that we are having. And let me change this over here. This is the eclipse that we are having. And so you can see right here, the rising sign for this particular eclipse is going to be Cancer. And then down here at the bottom, whoops, this is the wrong chart. Let me share this one instead. Obviously, that was from last time. So let me go over here to the moon calendar. We are having an eclipse today. So this is where we are. Let me see if this is working now. Gotta love these things that, let's see, we want this one instead, share this tab instead. All these things that are communication driven. So we have Uranus that went retrograde yesterday, and Uranus controls shocks and surprises and quick and sudden changes. And so there could be some electrical energies going on with some of these eclipses that we are having in our lives. So if you look right here, if you can see my mouse moving, this is going to be at 15 degrees, 22 minutes. And this is where the sun is right now in Virgo. So whenever we have a lunar eclipse or we have a full moon, that is when the moon is on the opposite side. Okay. So after you put your birth chart in, you will see a chart that looks similar like this. And so whatever sign is over here on the side, that is your ascendant. And so this is how I'm going to be sharing this broadcast. So you want to listen out for your ascending sign first, so you can see where this lunation is occurring. And then you want to see where your sun sign is. Okay, so everybody knows what their sun sign is in the zodiac. I'm an Aries, but I'm a Leo rising, and my moon is in Taurus. But as you can see here, the moon is in Pisces, and we have the sun in Virgo, and then over here the rising sign would be Aries. So after you figure that out, you should be able to see over here on the side of this chart what your ascendant is. And as we can see from this chart, it is Aries. But let's focus on this PowerPoint that I made instead, because I feel like this could be helping us a little bit more. I need to get that one off the screen and focus on this one because I had the wrong one pulled up. That's why I did that. So let's talk about the things that Pisces rules. So Pisces rules elimination, the ending of something. It is also our most spiritual sign that we have in the zodiac as well. And so with that being said, there could be some things that are not only ending out of your life at this time, but also things that are probably trying to come in as well. And so if we look at this chart here, we can see that, Pisces controls creativity. Pisces controls our spirituality. So something that you might want to be taking a look at this time is, where can I be putting my energies at if something is ending out of my life? And how can I be being in better routines so that I can have whatever it is that I want to call in next coming into my life? So if something is letting go, how can we bring that in? So Pisces is illumination of things behind the scenes. Maybe there's people that are having phone addictions at this point and looking at ways that we can probably detoxify that from our life. And are we spending too much time behind the screens, in front of our computers, behind the phones, playing video games? If something is ending out of your life and we are trying to make ourselves feel better by escaping into those things that maybe we're addicted to, all right? And those are questions that we really need to be asking ourselves. Is there something that maybe you need to detox out of your life? Is it a relationship that you have with someone? Is it a relationship that you have with yourself? Is it a possible relationship that you have with a habit? Or is it a possible place that maybe you frequent that maybe you no longer align with? So in order for those new things to be coming in, we need to be asking ourselves, well, what is taking up my energy at this time? Am I spending too much time on technology and looking at all this stuff on the outside world of, I need to buy this, or I need to do all these things on social media, right? How can we take that energy and focus more on our internet, what's going on inside? You could have a possible heightened intuition at this point. And because you're having these divine support right now from all the outer planets, right? We have Uranus, which is over here at the bottom, and it's over here underneath this black line in the X. Uranus, which is at 1 degree in Gemini, is making a trine to Pluto. So that is a positive aspect. There could be some quick and sudden changes. And Pluto is about death and rebirth and transformation. And these death and rebirth and transformational experiences don't have to be that difficult, right? They can be fun. And if we are in our creative energy, or if we are getting in touch with our spiritual side, then maybe some of these things that we have aren't going to be so difficult for us to go into in order to heal ourselves. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. The only thing I would say is, other than that, is Pisces is about feeling and knowing that a better tomorrow is coming, having faith that everything is going to work out. I mean, how many times have you probably been in a situation that was uncomfortable, all right, but through God's help, or through the friends that you have, or maybe through your own creative gifts and ability, you were able to maneuver some of those difficult waters in order to get on the other side. Pisces does rule water. And the water signs are our emotional signs, and that is Cancer, Scorpio, and also Pisces. So getting in touch with that part of ourselves so we can learn to let some of those things go that maybe we are holding on to. And Pisces is about letting it go, whether that's we write it on something and we burn it and we send it out and then we call in something that we want, or maybe we let it go because we're crying and we let it go that way. Okay, so if we don't let those emotions go, they can kind of fester up in us, and it can lead to anger issues. It can lead to escapism tendencies. It can lead to health issues, other problems maybe with our mental health if we try to have so much control because we don't want to let that thing go. Change is uncomfortable, right? But through the transformation, Pluto, we are able to get the transformation that we are looking for in our own lives. So where is this going to be illuminating for you? So again, look it up on astroseek.com so you can figure out what your rising sign is. So the rising sign for this eclipse is a Sagittarius for the United States. And I find this really cool because Sagittarius is the ascending sign for the United States. So the eclipse is definitely happening for them in the house of communication, information coming out quickly, people attaching themselves to some type of spiritual belief or learning something new or spirituality, or maybe finding information online in order to help themselves heal from whatever is going on in their life. So that is the theme that is coming for the collective. And before we get into it, we're going to start with Pisces first. I usually start with Aries first, but because this is your annual full moon, and we are also going to be having another one in Pisces as well. And all of the lunar eclipses, are going to be happening in Pisces during this eclipse cycle between Pisces and Virgo. So be thinking about letting go of the control so that the new thing can come in. And let's think about breathing like the ocean, because that is what Pisces controls. And as we breathe and as we let go, then the shore is going to meet us with whatever is trying to come into our life at this time. So first up is going to be Pisces. So Pisces, you are having this lunation in your first house. So again, this is your annual full moon, about letting go and releasing the things which no longer serve. There could be a change in your identity and being able to show up as somebody new during this time. You could be getting divine information downloads, maybe in your sleep, because the moon is our sleep. Pisces controls sleep. And so it could be difficult for you to be having sleep at this time. And if that does happen to you, what are we doing when we wake up in the middle of the night, right? Are we nurturing ourselves and trying to put ourselves back to sleep, or are we grabbing that phone and escaping into those Piscean type waters of detachment and escapism and hidden? Nobody can find me, so I can stay here in whatever escape pattern that I'm in. You are being asked right now to let go of that. You are being asked right now to look at the relationships in your life. Could some of these relationships in your life be closing out because they don't align with you anymore? Because wherever the full moon is happening or the eclipse, you want to look at the opposite sign in order to kind of get some information about how to help yourself best. So if we look at that red line as it goes to the 7th house, that is the house of relationships, you could be calling in more Virgo-like people that are helping you with your routines, or people that are coming into your life that are going to be more grounded in their energy. Or it could be an opportunity for you to let go, all right, of how you show up in relationships. And what I mean by that is letting go of control, because Pisces not Pisces, but Virgo likes to be in control, and they like things to be organized. And so cleaning of your relationships, cleaning of your home, cleaning of your identity, getting more organized is a good astrological remedy for you at this time. And that goes for anybody as well. So this is at 18 degrees where the north node, if you can see where the moon is right above this little U, and 18 degrees is a Virgo degree. So in Nicholas Stevanovich's degree theory, every one of these little numbers from 0 to 29 means something in your chart. They correspond to a different house. They correspond to a different zodiac sign, and they correspond to a different planet. And so right now we have a lot of planets that are at anaretic degrees, the outer planets, and that's 0, 1, and 29. And so because of this, you are trying to eliminate some of these things out of your life that could be hidden from you. And now that the veil has been lifted, you can see clearly now, right? And I'm hearing the song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, okay? I can see all obstacles in my way, all right? And you can be organizing your things behind the scenes so that you can eliminate and X out some of those things in your relationships that could not be allowing you to be your best Pisces self. This is also letting go maybe of people not only in our friendships, but people maybe that we've trusted, because the opposite house is open enemies being exposed, or it could be balance, and you getting back into balance because you actually can see now the truth, and you can bring more justice and more balance into your life if you step into being more of your authentic expression and doing more of your Piscean things, which is being in your creativity, resting when you need to, tapping into your spirituality. How do you do that, Pisces? You know, it's Sunday today, soul day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling your soul? How are you filling up your soul? All right. That's why a lot of people, they go to church on Sunday. They feel their soul that way. But if you feel your soul by helping out in the community at a homeless shelter, that's being of service. If you feel like I'm of service by doing something with these children in a nonprofit organization, then that's a way that you can be of service too. So I hope that this helps you, Pisces, and that you got something out of it. If you did, please make sure that you check out the description box below on how to make an appointment with me, and comment below what is leaving your life, Pisces, and also what you would like to call in at this time. So writing things down would be a good astrological remedy, and burning what you are trying to release and calling in what you would like to bring in is a great astrological remedy for you. Thanks so much, Pisces. Moving on down the zodiac to Aquarius. So Aquarius, you are having this in your second house. The second house controls what we value. It controls love and the pleasures of life, right? And so Aquarius, you could be getting a transformation of the things that you value. And are you valued in the community? Are you valued in others? And so if somebody is not valuing you, or there has been a change in your values, then you want to learn to let that go. So something could be eliminating from your life as, you know what? I used to value going to this place. I used to value this habit. I thought that it helped me, right? I used to value going to this place. I used to value watching this particular person on YouTube. Well, there could be a change of that, right? Because if we look across the street, we are having the South Node transiting your 8th house of transformation. So as we change our values, then we can change our resources, right? If we're still valuing the same thing in life, Aquarius, then we're going to get more of that. So now is a good time to be thinking about how do you, what do you value? Do you value your alone time? Do you value time with your children? Do you value having a good work environment? And are you able to be valued in those places that you merge with others? So merging with others is not only in a marriage, but merging with others can be in a business partnership. Merging with others can also be with a work, relationship. And it's also, the eighth house is addictions and escapism, just like Pisces. So it is a very good time for you not to be escaping into the phones and finding value in that. Maybe using technology in order to benefit you so we can bring more resources into our lives. But if we're just playing games on the computer, all right, or if we're just picking up the phone and scrolling TikTok for 2 hours, okay, that's not going to be very good for you, Aquarius. So thinking about where we could possibly be detoxing some things out of our life in order to have that death and rebirth experience that we are wanting from this eclipse. So remember, these energies are going to be lasting for 6 months, Aquarius. So, change doesn't happen overnight, okay? And Aquarius, you are fixed in your belief systems and maybe possibly not wanting to change. You are a fixed sign, just like Taurus, just like Scorpio, and just like Leo. And I have a lot of fixed energy in my chart, and it's taken me a long time to make the transformation as well. But you are being blessed to transform for the next 20 years. So if you haven't fit in, okay, the time has come for you to fit in your weird and unusual self, okay? But detaching, like, Aquarius can be good for us right now, so that we can take a step back, be in solitude, which is Pisces, be in solitude so we can have that information, those prayers answered, the downloads that we need in order to help us along on our journey. So if something is detoxifying out of your life, just let it go. Okay. The harder you hold on to it, the harder it's going to be for you to let it go. And probably some issues could arise with having to let go. And if you don't let go with some of these energies that are helping you at this time, all right, it could get a little rough, and I don't want that for you. So a good astrological remedy for you would be to walk outside in nature, or to be outside in nature. That is something that I like to do. In fact, when I was going through some of my healing journey, Aquarius, I walked out in the woods, and it allowed me to free myself of emotions. And sometimes I would cry in the woods, and it would be very healing for me, especially today because it was raining today. And that's very therapeutic. And for some of these fixed signs, right, we don't like to show emotions, right? Because we have to be the leader. We have to be the one that people look to, right? And so by being in touch with our emotions and being vulnerable, even if not to another, with our own selves, it can show us why we do have some of the values that we have, or why we do gravitate towards some of those addictive patterns when we don't want to deal with our emotions. So if we're not dealing with our emotions, Aquarius, it can end up as anger. It can end up as disease, and it can also end up as other health challenges, especially in a mental way. Because Aquarius is the most mental sign that we have. It's a fixed air sign. And so you guys are highly intelligent, and you can do a lot of things in your mind at once and compartmentalize. So let's learn how to put everything on our plate at one time, but be able to balance that energy in a positive way. So we're not trying to control so much and allow more to come in. So if you got something out of this, Aquarius, give me a like and show me how this is affecting you in the comments below, and what could be leaving out of your life and what could be coming in for you at this time. Happy lunar eclipse in Pisces, Aquarius. Okay, Capricorn, you are next. And Capricorn, you are having this transit in your third house of communication, short distance travel, siblings, journaling, writing, speaking. And this is a quick house, and you could be getting a lot of information at this time, Capricorn, about ideas that could be coming up to the surface. There could be a letting go of any mental blocks that you possibly could have had. And maybe now with this eclipse, you have these aha moments where it's like, man, I had the power all along. All I had to do was click my heels together, and I am the creator of my own universe. I'm the one who is in control. I am the one who is the central part of all these things going on in my life. So since this is in the house of writing and speaking and communication for you, I said this to the Pisces as well. It would be a good thing for you to possibly write down something that you want to let go of. Maybe there is a habit that you have around not talking kind to yourself. Okay, so how can we call in the things that we want? Because remember, if we think something's going to happen, we will create more opportunities for that to happen. You are the creator of your own universe, right? And so saying manifestation type practices. For me, Capricorn, I have some Capricorn placements in my chart that also have some tendencies to have some challenges. And one of those things is having good routines. And so what I do is I say affirmations to myself, like as I'm making up my bed and doing these Capricorn structured activities. Okay. As I'm making up my bed, I have discipline. I have organization. I have positive friendships. I'm valued in the community. I am worth, you've had a lot of challenges over the last 15 to 16 years with Pluto in your sign. And so because of that, what have you learned during that time? How are you different from that experience? And what shared wisdom that is anything to do with the mind and wisdom is transiting right now between your third and your ninth house. You see that red line there. So learning something new could be a benefit to you. Learning something fun about transformation, maybe learning something to do with astrology or learning something to do with spirituality could definitely help you at this time, because Virgo is at the top of your chart in the ninth house, and learning a new spiritual practice or implementing that into your routine could be of benefit to you, and also possibly learning something to do with plants could be good, because anything to do with the earth is Virgo. And also increasing knowledge around your health habits, your spiritual health habits, your emotional health habits, your mental health habits. It's not just physical and what we eat, right? It's the information we consume. It's the people we hang around. It's the music we listen to. Like when you listen to music, how does that make you feel? Okay, is it just something to help you escape, or is it something that's kind of helping you maybe declutter out of your mind in order to move forward in the way that you need to do? So I hope you got something out of this, Capricorn, and understand these energies are with you for the next 6 months. So if this doesn't resonate right now, maybe you've been toying with the fact of learning something new in your mind, but having it in a fun way. And, education doesn't have to be expensive. Education doesn't have to be this long out and arduous process. Hopefully, we have come to this planet to learn how to evolve and how to learn lessons. And Capricorn, your ruler is Saturn. And wherever Saturn is, you need to be paying attention. And so right now, Saturn has just dipped back into Pisces. So it's a good idea for you to be taking a look at some of those subconscious behaviors that we have around our mind. Those subconscious behaviors that we have around maybe learning something new and trying to do something new and not being so fixed in our energy because we don't want to change. Okay. So if you got something out of this, Capricorn, let me know. There could be some new people coming into your life. And so if we let things go that don't serve us in the way that we communicate in the community, new people could be coming into your life that can kind of help you during this time, because you aren't here to be alone, okay? And you are here to help build some structures for the new earth. So if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video. And if you would like a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. Happy lunar eclipse in Pisces to you, Capricorn. Our next one is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you are having this one in your 4th house of home. So a good astrological remedy for you at this time would be to possibly clean the home so that you can have more of a spiritual connection to the home. Like when you come home, how does that make you feel? You know, is that your little sanctuary place where you go to retreat and you deal with some of your emotions? Maybe there is going to be a letting go of a home. So if there's a letting go of a home, Sagittarius, then how do you want your next home to look? What is that going to look like? And so there could be some opportunities at this time around your career and your home balance. So if we're working too much, Sagittarius, and we are not balancing that energy by retreating in our house, or trying to be in our creative pursuits in the house, or by being more into our spirituality in the house. Like, what are your routines in the morning at the house? You know, are you waking up and you're in a meditative state and trying to get information from God, from the universe, in your prayers, your devotions, maybe walking out in the woods is how you hear your information, right? That can be helping you at this time. Also, listening to your intuition by letting things go in the home. It doesn't have to be just letting the home go. Okay. It can be letting things go in the home, whether it's a car that maybe you've been wanting to sell, or maybe a loved one has passed away. And you are being supported at this time to go through those closets, get rid of maybe some of those outdated things that you don't need. This could be a clearing out of people possibly in the home. So if the next 6 months, if there is some changes around the home regarding people that come in and out of the life in the home, a good astrological remedy would be to be in prayer, to be with God, to understand what he is trying to tell you, as far as like, okay, let's just stop for a minute. Let's let this go so that this can come in. Let's just be quiet. This is also a time for you to nurture yourself. How are we nurturing ourselves, Sagittarius? Are we staying too busy by working too much? Or are we trying to actually have some solitude time at home alone, so we can process some of these energies that can be going on at the time? Understand this eclipse, if you do live on the eastern part of the United States, is going to be affecting you most personally, because this is going to be affecting Sagittarius risings the most. And the United States is a Sagittarius rising. So the United States is going to be highlighted for the next 6 months. But you are the one who holds a lot of the information. Okay, you probably are the one who is the most awakened. And by letting go of certain beliefs, you could end up getting even more information, or even more opportunities for you to step into gaining relationships that could help you on your spiritual journey, not only with information, but because you are higher mind, higher learning, higher consciousness. But you, my friend, I feel like are going to be the leaders in the home, and also the leaders possibly in work settings, and making time for some of those spiritual practices that mean something to you. Because possibly you could end up getting an opportunity to work with some of those spiritual gifts that you have. Jupiter is your ruler, and Jupiter in traditional astrology rules Pisces. So it's important for you it's important for you to know where Jupiter is at this time. And right now, Jupiter is in Cancer in the house of home. So there could be some illumination, some expansion of opportunities to be in more leadership ways in your home, and clearing out some of those energies that no longer serve in the home, that could be weighing you down from advancing in the ways that you need to spiritually. So if you got something out of this, Sagittarius, let me know. And don't be afraid to cry behind the scenes. All right. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. And that letting go is very healing for you. and trying to see maybe how you can use the healing arts in your home and possibly creating a business out of that, or helping others because it helps your structure as well. So if you got something out of this, like this video and share it with another Sagittarius if you find this beneficial, and comment below what could be closing out of your life and what you would like to be calling in. Happy lunar eclipse in Pisces, Sagittarius. Scorpio, I usually keep you to the end. This is one of my favorite signs. You are having this in the fun house of creativity and play and childlike expression. So there could be a highlight for you in being in your creativity and having fun and how you entertain yourself. And across the street that we have with that red line is how we are of service to others. So there's some friendships that could be possibly leaving your life? And if so, maybe this is an opportunity to be spending some time at home so that we can see what creative things that we would like to do. And what we would want to create at home so we could possibly sell that to the community, because Scorpio loves to find the hidden money, and you guys are really good at money. I would highly recommend not escaping for fun. Scorpio, you do rule detoxification and transformation and death and rebirth, but you also rule addictions, right? And so sometimes we can be addicted to certain things. Are you addicted to the screens? I said this to Pisces earlier, but I think that this applies to a lot of the signs at this time, but especially to Pisces and Scorpios, because of the fact that you guys rule escapism and addictions. And so are you escaping for entertainment because you don't want to deal with some of those things? Or is there a creative thing that maybe you need to be doing instead of being on the phone, or watching too much television, or not seeing somebody that maybe you have a relationship with in a romantic way, not seeing them for the person that they are? So if you are creating with somebody at this time, just making sure that whatever you are creating is something that is going to be of benefit, not only to you, but to that person and also to the collective. Because if you are just escaping, that's only benefiting yourself. And that is not using your creative gifts. That's not using your spiritualness, because Scorpio likes to go deep. Scorpio likes to find the hidden information. Scorpio likes to see the mystery. So going through the detoxification of certain creative habits you have is a great astrological remedy for you, but just have fun. Pisces controls music. Pisces controls water. So maybe taking a trip to the beach could be good for you. Pisces controls the oceans. So that could be coming up in the next 6 months for you. And as you're walking on the beach and doing something active, maybe it could give you some insights about how you should proceed next in your routines. And whatever you're doing now, making sure that we're making time for those creative and fun things that we want to do in our day-to-day routines. Because if something is closing out, we got to bring something in. We can't be escaping. All right. And we can't be pretending that it didn't happen. Let's use that energy so that we can be more into our creative pursuits and more into our spirituality, and make it a routine around that over the next 6 months. So if you got something out of this, Scorpio, please like this video, and below comment to tell me how this is affecting you most personally, what could be closing out as something is coming in. And happy full moon eclipse to you, Scorpio. Libra, you are having this eclipse happening in your 6th house of routines, your day-to-day organization, your work habits. So it's also across the street from the house that Pisces rules, which is our subconscious behaviors, spirituality, endings. So there could be an ending of a certain routine that you've had. There could be a letting go, possibly of a pet, or a possible work routine that you've had. now would be a great time, and I said this to the Scorpios as well, how can we be in our spiritual gifts? How can we be in our creativity? And we want to make sure that we put time into that, and that we are bringing in relationships that are going to help with that. These relationships, you just finished out, you and Aries, over the last 2 years, I would say 2.5 years, of who am I? And how am I showing up in relationships? And hopefully we aren't making those same choices and calling in some of those old, outdated patterns of how we show up in relationships. And hopefully you aren't just putting your blinders on, okay, like a Pisces, and we're actually seeing clearly a person for who they are, a habit that you have for what it is, maybe a place for what it is. You've actually seen some of these things because the veils have been lifted. So now that we've had that clarity, how can we see more clearly in order to add those routines into our life as some might be going away? Okay, so if there's a letting go of a relationship or maybe a habit, not escaping because we don't know what to do. So remember, if you listen to the beginning of this video, the opposite of depression is creation. So what can we create with some of that energy that may be uncomfortable that we're going through as we're letting go and we're transforming our routines and our day to day? And, you know, these opportunities are definitely going to allow you to show up in relationships a lot better when we have our organization in our routines, and we also have a good foundation of who we are at our soul level. And are we living that out, or are we still doing the Libra thing, which is I'm going to keep everybody else happy and I'm going to pretend to be this person, when in actuality, Pisces, I'm going to be somebody else behind the scenes. All right. So we want to be letting that go, showing up as our true, authentic self every day in our routines, whatever that is. It is a very good idea to be taking a look at how much time you're spending on social media. Pisces is behind the scenes. Pisces is the screens. Pisces is doctors and institutions and our mental health. So how is your mental health? Are you making time to have that as a forefront in your day to day? Are you telling yourself positive affirmations? Are you doing good, healthy routines so that you can have the healthy mindset, so you can have the healthy relationships coming in, so you can be happy at work? So remember, whatever's closing out in your routine, a way to deal with that is to put something creative in its place. If you play the drums, if you garden, if you have some type of special gift that you're working on. Maybe it's a spiritual gift that you're working on and you're learning how to do Reiki, or maybe you're learning how to make foods that are more healthy in nature and don't have a whole lot of chemicals. Maybe making videos about that. That's a way to use the phone in order to increase your following online, and possibly, you know, creating a business from a social media account by doing something that's healthy and offering advice to others about how you've been able to transform your life could be very healing for you. So Libra, if you got something out of this, make sure that you comment below in what could be closing out of your life in a routine and what you would like to be calling in. If you would like to know how this eclipse is going to be affecting you most personally, please make sure that you check out the description box below, and I will be more than happy to do a personalized reading for you. Happy lunar eclipse in Pisces, Libra. Virgo, you are up next. You are also another star of the show. So the Virgos and the Pisces are going to be highlighted probably until the next middle of the year, whenever the nodes change next year into the signs of Aquarius and Leo. But right now, there's a lot of things that are possibly clearing out of your life as far as relationships go. And maybe this could be a relationship with yourself. This is open enemies coming to the surface and hidden information coming out about what those relationships really were. So This could be your addiction to spending too much time on the phone. And I've said this to many of these signs today, but also taking a look at how can we be better in our spiritual health and how can we be better in our creativity so that we can bring more relationships into our life that support that. Right? If you have had some great awakening or epiphany moment, right? And you're like, I'm not going to do XYZ habit anymore, because Virgo is our health habits. So if we don't have good health habits, guess what? We are going to be attracting more of those things that are going to make us escape and not deal with the things that we need to deal with. So this is a great time for you to be getting out with other people and maybe doing creative things like playing music together, working on an art project together, organizing something like organizing the garage. It could be also going to church, doing something that is spiritual with other people, and also giving yourself an opportunity to be of service in a different way, Virgo. You and Pisces both, and a little bit of Libra, and I would say Aries, like to self-sacrifice. Okay. And if you don't fill up your cup first and you aren't treating your body with love and kindness, and that's not only with our habits, but that is the thoughts that we tell ourselves, it's the music that we listen to, it's our routines. If we're having some health challenges, why don't we take a look at what we're doing in our free time? All right. Are we spending too much time on the phone? Are we eating junk food? Are we going out to some bar after work? Right. I'm not saying that that's you, but just picking up on some of the habits that Virgos, we can get into it, right? We're so critical. And I love Virgo. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, but Virgos can be a little critical of others because we are critical of ourselves and we want to be perfect, right? But letting go of the perfectionism, letting go of, well, when this happens, then I'll have this relationship. And if this happens, then I'll have this, letting that go. Okay. Because you are being blessed at this time in order to, have a better routine in how we show up in relationships. So if we are always saying, well, I don't have time for me and I got to go do this and I got to go do this and I got to go do this for the church and I got to go do this for my work, that's putting yourself last. So don't be afraid to say no. Okay, that is very empowering. And don't be afraid to be in solitude right now and having a better relationship with yourself if being in relationship with others right now is not resonating with you. But I would say that whether it's talking to somebody or creating with somebody, that could definitely help you during this time. And your routines are being highlighted, transformation is being highlighted, and also your career is being highlighted and how you could possibly service someone else. So this could be making food for somebody. That could be creativity, is making food. This could be being out in the community and helping somebody organize their house or organizing your own dwelling space, because where Pisces is, where this circle is, that's the seventh house of design and feng shui and making things look good. So cleaning and organizing could definitely help you at this time kind of deal with some of this clutter that could be in relationships with your life. So remember, if these things are letting go, how can we call in more of what we want to help us during this transformative time as we learn how to step into more of our identity and release the control that everything doesn't have to be perfect in a relationship and everything doesn't have to be perfect at work and we don't have to look a certain way so we're accepted into this relationship. Letting that go and being more of your authentic self is going to be a great benefit to you at this time. Walking in the woods and crying out in nature could be good for you, or walking in at the beach and doing something kind of grounding in that way, where the ocean is kind of coming up on your feet, or being around the lake. Just being around water and being around the earth could definitely help you at this time. And that could take away from our tendency to want to escape into some of these adverse habits that we can have, Virgo, because when we control too much, we end up self-sabotaging on the back burner, right? And we need to put something creative in that place as well. So organizing the home, painting a room, doing something that's going to make your aesthetic look better, so that you can call in the relationships that you are looking to call in, if some are being exited out. If you got something out of this, Virgo, make sure that you like this video and that you subscribe to my channel. Comment below if this resonated with you and what could be closing out for you at this time, Virgo, and what you would like to be calling in during this lunar eclipse that we are having in Pisces in your 7th house of relationship. Hello, Leo. You are having this in your 8th house of transformation. And this one is a hard one. I am a Leo rising. And just to tell you a little short story before we get more into you, and maybe this resonates with you. I am closing out a 30-year career as a fitness person. And because of where Saturn is right now at 29 degrees of Pisces, it is ending that career for me. And I'm stepping into something that is more in alignment for me. So by letting that go, which was, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. But in 2020, when I was told by, the universe that I wasn't going to be a personal trainer anymore, and I wasn't going to go to the nightclub anymore for my fun and my career. All right. I had to let that go. And as I have let that go last week, I have been able to step in fully to really what it is that I want to be doing, which is starting my own thing outside, which is called Earthy Girl Fitness, and bringing people outside and helping them connect to nature and their internet versus the internet. And we're so, addicted to our screens. And so because of that, I've been able to call in more people that are in alignment with me. And because my value system has changed, what my resources have changed as a result. So Leo, you have Venus, all right? If you look where your symbol for Leo is, over here on that black line to the left, on the far left-hand side of the screen, below that is Venus. And so Venus is all the things that we love, right? And feeling good and abundance. So Leo, you are a very creative sign, and you're so passionate, right? And so what can we be passionate about? What can we be living from our heart in order to have the transformation of our resources? So there could be a letting go of things that you no longer value, things that no longer align with you anymore. And as you let those things go, don't hold so tight to them, okay? Leo and Taurus and Scorpio and Aquarius, you guys are all fixed signs, right? And we don't like to change. So if you are Leo rising, or if you have listened to the beginning of this video to figure out what your rising sign is, you'll be able to see that. So if you're one of the 4 fixed signs, it's hard for us to change, right? Because that's our identity, that's our home, that's our relationships and our career, right? And those things actually identify us here in this lifetime. Those are the most important things, right? Who we are, how we nurture ourselves in the home, the relationships that we call in, and are we living in our soul's purpose to not only have our heaven on earth, but to also use our gifts and talents and creativity to make the world a better place and bring in more resources to your life. So as something is letting go, all right, just understand that new things are on the way in order to replace it. But Pisces in the 8th house, folks, that is escapism. And the 8th house is addictions. So making sure that we aren't being in our addictive patterns. For example, are we watching too much sports on Sunday? Now, I'm not knocking sports. I've never got into it, but maybe it's because I was a fat kid and, I just let them hit me with the ball first so I could be out. And, so if it involves a ball or a racket, I'm pretty terrible at it. So that eliminates all sports. But I was able to turn that trigger into a glimmer by becoming a personal trainer at age 18. So again, if something is coming out of your life or some of these situations can be a little bit uncomfortable for you, what can we do in a Piscean way that's creative? Right? Something that allows us to go deep within our subconscious, because the 8th house is going deep and Pisces is our subconscious. So tapping into your spirituality, what type of information could you be getting at this time? So as this lunation is closing out things in your life, you could be being set up for having more things of value come in that resonate more with who you are at this time. So you are being divinely guided and supported at this time in your house of friendships, in your house of relationships, and also in your mind. So this could be a good time for you to be taking a look at, are you calling in things that are going to be of benefit to you in those 3 areas of your life? What is your mental practices around? Are you saying, I am good enough, I can do it, I am brave, I came here in order to do XYZ? Whatever, the stories that you tell yourself definitely could help you at this time, because you've got Mars. I know that you can't see this. Well, maybe you can at the bottom of your chart. You have Libra there with a black line. So right beside it, it looks like a little circle with a arrow in it. That's Mars. So there could be a cutting out of mindsets that you have, telling yourself that you can do it, and taking practical steps, actionary steps, in order to be the person that you want to be in the community. And if somebody doesn't want to play with you, Leo, that is okay. You go find somebody else that will, accept you for your gifts and talents, because for the next 20 years, you are going to be highlighted because of Pluto being across your ascendant. And so there could be some new relationships coming out as old ones are coming in, or there is going to be a transformation of the relationships that you used to have in your life. And now you are finding people that are more spiritual. You are finding people that want to be of service. You are finding people that don't want to escape. That's not what your friendship is about, right? Your friendship is, how can I be in my creative gifts in order to help humanity rise? And as I do that, I'm going to create more resources in my life. And that means money. And I'm going to say income, okay? Because income is more than just money. Income can mean, how am I treating myself behind the scenes, Pisces? What am I doing to maybe listening to music, all right, that is sound frequencies that help me get the clarity that I need? Or am I blocking things out by listening to some music that probably isn't to my best and highest good, and maybe has some yucky lyrics that are going to it? There's one more thing I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. You have Jupiter in Cancer at this time in your 12th house. And so Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So you are getting an expansion of your spirituality at this time. So don't be knocking it. Don't escape, okay, into things that don't serve us, but let's try to escape by being in our creativity. So if you missed that part of the first part of the video, you might want to rewind that when we start talking about some of these themes that Pisces rules. There could also be an illumination of things that you thought were making you better, but maybe they aren't making you better, and some clarity around some things that you were illusioned by, whether that's people, places, or things. And as we let those go, again, we have more income coming in. So income is our relationships. Income can mean I barter out with somebody, getting my hair done for maybe some personal training, or maybe I'm going to trade out these eggs that my chicken had, and now I'm able to get some beef over here from this other farmer that has a cow. So using your creative gifts to have more income that's not just money, but income in general, so that you can have more abundance in your life. All right, Leo, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video and comment below if something is coming out of your life. Again, not escaping, Okay. You can escape into solitude, but let's not escape into yucky behaviors that can prevent us from getting the information and the help and the resources that we need during this time. All right. Happy full moon lunar eclipse in Leo, my friends. Cancer, lucky Cancers with Jupiter in your sign right now. You are having this eclipse in your ninth house of higher consciousness, travel, learning something that's like college, right? So if Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius, and it is the third house of elementary and teenagers and learning elementary type education and fun in little kids, this could be learning something at a college level, so we can take that information and then use it to create more resources in our lives. So this is the themes that are going to be for the next 6 months for you. There could be a mindset shift for you. Where are you spending time in your community? Where are you? Where are your thoughts at this time? Are you telling yourself that, you know, I'm never going to get it? I'm always going to have, you know, this in my community. This would be a good idea to possibly let things go in your community, in your short distance travel, in your thoughts, journaling, writing, speaking. So an astrological remedy for you at this time would be possibly to write things out that you want to let go of, and you can burn it. Or maybe, since you're a water sign, if that doesn't resonate to you, maybe tear it up into little pieces and throw it somewhere that's water-like, whether it's down the toilet, all right? Or maybe if you live near a creek or something like that, or maybe burying it. But writing things out or journaling your thoughts so that we can think before we speak. Also, you are ruled by the moon. So wherever the moon goes, you and Leo need to be paying attention, right? And anytime we have these eclipses, because when the eclipses happen, and we have these full moon and we have these new moon energies, it affects the Cancers and the Leos the most, because Leo is ruled by the sun and Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so these lunations affect you most personally. So you could be having maybe some possible sleep issues or some issues around having too much going on at one time. So if you do feel anxious, writing things down so that you can check them off could be a great benefit to you. Also, writing things down can help you remember better and learn some of those new things that you were trying to bring into your life at this time. There could be some highlights around your beliefs. So why do we believe the things that we believe? And this could be around religion. This could be around why we have certain relationships in our lives. This could be why we have certain work habits, or why we keep attracting the same experiences to our life. So let's change it around. If you've been going through an uncomfortable situation, write down whatever you're wanting to let go of. And then, like I said, burn it if that resonates, because we have Neptune in Aries at this time at 1 degree. Neptune is our spirituality. Neptune is about letting go. Neptune is ruled by Pisces. So burning it probably would be a good astrological remedy, because Neptune and Pisces are water signs, and you're a water sign. But Neptune, which is the ruler of this eclipse, the dispositor, being able to write this down. All right, Virgo, which is the opposite of this eclipse, and being able to burn it or to speak it out into existence, that this is what I want, and believing that it is true. You're having an up-leveling of your identity right now. And so this also not only affects your identity, but also affects how you create, and also affects how you learn and what you want to be shifting from during some of these transits, so that you can be more of service and not to take on everything ourselves. Cancers and Virgos kind of like to self-sacrifice themselves along with Pisces. And so by being more in our creative endeavors and learning something new, we can call in some of those things that allow us to see clearly that we haven't been given enough to ourselves the way that we give to others. Okay, so are you loving yourself the way that you love other people? Maybe this is a mindset shift that you need to be having at this time as well. There could be some issues going on with the home because you have Mars there in the fourth house in Libra. So there could be a letting go of a home or a relationship in the home, or cleaning out of something in the home. There could be some tension around that. So before we say something that we don't mean, okay, we want to probably write some of those things down so we don't hurt anybody's feelings, because Cancers, we might have a tendency to do that along with Aries and Scorpio. We don't realize how it makes people feel sometimes when we say certain things. So just thinking before we speak. And if you got something out of this, Cancers, please comment below where this could be highlighting some things that you are letting go of and what you would like to be calling in at this time. So again, learning something new is a great astrological remedy for you at this time, and also doing affirmations around what it is that you want to be calling in next, and also not self-sacrificing yourself for others and having more balance so that we can have some better relationships coming in to our lives if some are leaving. So if you got something out of this, again, comment below and like this video and share it with another Cancerian if you found this of value. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like a more personalized reading, my contact information is below, and I would love to help you, Cancers, during this astrological transit. Happy full moon in Pisces to you. All right, Gemini, we are finally to your sign. I know we usually get to you third, but you are having this illumination in your career house. So this is a great time to possibly be clearing out anything that doesn't serve you in your career. You are also being guided at this time to possibly spend some time at home doing healthy practices, maybe cleaning of the home. And as you do that, you can have maybe some of these aha moments like, oh yeah, I can do this at work, or oh yeah, this is how I can have more balance between my home and also in my career. You've got Uranus in your sign for the next 7 years. And I just had this finish over my house of career, and it definitely has changed me because I no longer have a full-time, well, I'm sorry, I used to have a full-time job as a personal trainer and fitness guru for about 30 years. And during the lockdowns of 2020, I lost that, right? And over time, I just never got that fire back, right? But what the universe and God was trying to tell me during that transit of Uranus going over my chart for the last 7 years is that I was supposed to be stepping into somebody new. And that's an uncomfortable change because we don't want to change. We want things to stay the same. But if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. And we all know that, right? So there could be a shift in your resources over the next, I would say, year. And in order to make that happen, we have to get our home right. We have to get our mindset right as well around our career. So I would suggest to you to be walking maybe out in nature. That could help you during this time, or possibly cleaning of the house, maybe cooking food at home, being in some good Virgo practices in the home. That's health habits, that is journaling, that is reading, cooking at home, being in good healthy practices. And there could be, if you do work in the medical institution, there could be an up leveling of how you connect to your spirituality, and maybe connecting that with how you want to be of service. I would also say that learning some type of spiritual gift, if you have been led to Reiki or astrology or sound healing. Pisces is sound, being in music, listening to music, frequency music. That definitely could help you at this time. And so from doing that, you could get some of the downloads that you're looking for so that you can clean out your foundation in order to have the stability that you need in order to make your hopes, your wishes, and dreams come true. All right. You've got Saturn that just dipped back into Pisces in your 10th house. So Saturn is about our structure. Saturn is our career. Saturn is our lessons in life, our karma, hard work. It's our career. So I think I already said career. It's older people, stability. It's the matrix, our structure. So your structure and your career is being shaken to the core. All right. But believing that this career that you are possibly stepping into is where you need to be. And if there is some career that is falling away, or you are showing up in the community different, because Gemini rules the community, you're definitely having some quick and sudden changes right now in your identity, in what you learn, and also in how you can take your identity, what you've learned, and apply it to your career so you can be of service to humanity in a more authentic expression of yourself. So if you are called to the healing arts, maybe this is a good time for you to get that certification to do something like that. There's a lot of self-help also on YouTube, but doing this stuff behind the scenes and maybe at home so that you can add that into whatever you are wanting to do next. This definitely, I think, can help increase your resources, because you've got a trine there from this eclipse to Jupiter in your 2nd house of resources. So yeah, you are having an up leveling, and you know, you're having some uncomfortable situations in your routines right now. Black Moon Lilith is there in the 6th house of your routines in your day to day. So don't be caught up in escapism. Okay. Because if you do that, it's going to prevent you from moving ahead like you need to. There's other ways to deal with things, like, you know, maybe we cry while we're cleaning our house. Maybe we transmute that negative feeling and we make food for someone. And we not only eat that healthy food, but we give it away, right? That's Pisces. All right. Being of service, but also not self-sacrificing at work, or self-sacrificing period, so that we keep the balance. Because if you do that, you're going to be angry, you're going to self-sabotage, and you're not going to be in good habits. All right, Gemini, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video and comment below how this is affecting you most personally. Again, these energies are going to be felt for the next 6 months. Whatever is leaving, something better is coming in. You got to believe, right? You got to believe. Put on that happy smile. Okay, we can fake it till we make it sometimes. All right, and then we can cry behind the scenes, but let's show up as our good Virgo self with, you know, being slow. Okay, taking our time and not, you know, trying to be so busy, Gemini, with all these things that we have on our list, right? And then we can't, you know, get them all done. And then we, you know, poo-poo on ourselves and think that, you know, well, we suck because we didn't do all these things. Well, you put too much on your plate. Okay, so take the time that you need to heal yourself so that you can be more of service. All right, Gemini, happy full moon in Pisces to you for this eclipse. And if you would like a more personalized reading, please visit the description box below. Thank you. All right, last but not last, second to last is Taurus. I have a lot of Taurus in my chart, but these are for the Taurus risings, if you know what that is. If not, please back up this video so you can figure out how to find your rising sign. You are having this illumination in your 11th house of friendships, being of service to others, we the people. So you could possibly be traveling or meeting people online that don't live in your community in order to help you possibly let go of some of these Piscean things that could be hidden behind the scenes. Maybe you are letting go of a way that you used to create, and now you don't create with those same type of people anymore. Maybe you are getting more structure in how you create. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be organized, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be doing this. And at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing this. We're going to have to get a little bit more organized in how we have fun and how we create. A good astrological remedy for you at this time is to be eating healthy foods. Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces. And so sometimes we can work with some of these astrological transits on the opposite sign. Let me get some water. Hold on a second. I've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes and I haven't even taken a sip of water. That's not healthy. Taurus also controls food. Taurus is the things that make us feel good in the body, right? And so how can we feel good in our body? And so we can feel good in our body by making healthy routines for us. So putting those into practice, and these healthy routines don't have to be, arduous. For example, if you don't like lifting weights, don't lift weights. Go be outside in nature. Go walk in the woods. Go do a yoga class. Go walk your pet. Just go do something. Clean your house. Doing something that is active, and by putting this into your regimen and being able to have a clean space can allow some of these new friendships to come in that can help you create in a more fun way. This can allow you to tap into more of those creative things that you like to do and making room for those, right? Seeing the bigger picture than just, I'm going to have fun for right now. Okay. This is being calculated in our regimented practices, but also not working so much and self-sacrificing our time for others. And then that way we feel like we have to treat ourselves terrible when we have free time. So just ask yourself, what am I doing in my free time? How am I creating? Do I need to be looking at something that maybe I used to do for fun, right? What did you used to do for fun that maybe you don't do anymore? Is it draw? Is it sing? Is it play a musical instrument? Are you being called possibly to maybe make food, and that's fun for you? Or to set up some type of organization business, and that's how you help somebody. So being grounded in your energy for entertainment could definitely be of use for you. And by entertaining, doing things that are Virgo in nature. So that is anything that is mercurial, because just like Gemini, you are ruled by Mercury. So that is writing, speaking. This is our health, right? Our physical health, and Pisces is our spiritual health. So how are we connecting the two so that we can not only have fun as we make ourselves healthy, but we can also call in those friendships that are also healthy as well. There could also be a letting go. I think I mentioned this already, of people you don't resonate with anymore because they don't allow you to be of service the way that you want to. You also are being highlighted at this time in your third house of your mind. So possibly doing affirmations. I said this to another sign as well. I think it was Virgo or Gemini, saying affirmations to ourselves about abundance, or how we can call in more friendships and like-minded community and more creativity into our lives. That definitely could help you at this time. You are being asked, because you have Mars in Libra, which is an air sign, Xing out ways that maybe you communicate, or Xing out things that no longer serve in your day-to-day. This includes work relationships, business relationships, also relationships maybe that you have with a pet or with other people in your day-to-day. So there could be some tension around that, and they're getting into your mind. So don't let that happen. Okay. You are being blessed at this time in your resources, and also in how you connect to your spirituality, being of service to others, and also your career. So don't let those naysayers get to you. This is just a test. All right. And you just do your thing and just X those people out of your life. And you don't have to do some big blow up thing, right? Walk softly and carry a big stick, just walk away. And eventually those people will go harass somebody else, because, they may not be happy people. So, all right, this transit for you over the next 20 years is affecting your career. So this tension points that you're feeling around career are definitely affecting how you view yourself, and am I going to be of value now that I'm doing something else? Yes, you are. Okay. But we got to make sure that we're making a good routine around what we want to do next. We got to make time for it. Okay. And our fun new routine that we are creating that allows us to have fun while also be of service. and not self-sacrifice. All right, if you got something out of this, Taurus, make sure that you like this video and leave a comment below on something that could be letting go out of your life and what you wish to call in. For more personalized reading, please visit the description box below, and I'll be more than happy to do a more personalized reading for you. All right, Aries, I'm an Aries, and usually when I listen to these forecasts, I'm like, ooh, I get to go first. And then I look at the bottom and I like go to the different signs that I need to be looking at. So for Aries, you are having this in your 12th house of spirituality, subconscious behaviors, escapism. So I've said this to many signs. I also said this to the Pisces, the Virgos, and I think the Scorpios. Please don't be in addictive behaviors, because this escapism could cause you to have some adverse things happen in your routine and your day-to-day. So you're being asked at this time to level up your routines. If you are wanting to do this new thing, how are we making time for it? And I said this to the Taurus as well. Are we writing things down? Virgo, all right? Are we being organized in our day-to-day? Virgo. Are we eating clean, healthy foods? Virgo, all right? Now, I know that this is a Pisces eclipse, but working with the opposite sign allows us to have more energetic balance during this time. So if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do, there's too much going on, I've got too much on my plate, then it's important for us to be grounded in that and not being like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to go over here and go drink after work at this bar, or I'm just going to scroll TikTok for 2 hours, or I'm going to escape by watching this movie. Okay. Pisces is the illusions of life. And are we letting go of something that maybe we were illusioned by? Maybe there's a highlight right now in your routines, and it was like, you know what? I really don't need that thing as much as I thought that I did. And because I let that go, now I can bring in more spiritual practices into my life. Now I can bring in more creative pursuits into my life. Maybe now I can sleep better. You might have some sleep issues during this time. If that happens, be mindful of what we're doing when we wake up. Are we reaching for that phone and trying to feed our emotions this way? Or are we waking up, maybe asking God or asking our higher self, or just sitting there for a minute in our own energy and seeing why we are up at that time? Maybe if you can't go back to sleep, get up and start doing something around the house that is allowing you to be creative. Whether it's working on a project, whether it's doing something behind the scenes in order to make your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams come true. There could be some relationships right now that are closing out for you in regards to your home or how you show up in relationships. So if there's some tension there, just taking a step back, okay, retreat for a little bit before we speak, because Aries can have a tendency to speak too fast and then think about it later. And we really don't want to be doing that now, okay? And we've got Uranus at the bottom of your chart in the 3rd house of communication. So this is a great time for you to be having some quick and sudden changes possibly in how we connect to the community. And are we being able to be valued in the community the way that we want to? And if not, well, let's go find our other community, maybe online. All right. It doesn't have to be in a short distance place that you resonate, right? Maybe you find somebody online in order to help you with this business that you are trying to create as well. I think I said this already before, but please make sure that we're not in escaping practices. You've got Black Moon Lilith in the 8th house of transformation, and that's also our addictions. So if you are doing practices like that and you are making those a part of your routine and we haven't learned the lessons, there could be some hard lessons coming up in the next 6 months to a year if we don't take this action now. And I don't want that to happen to you. Okay. Don't be like me. All right. And didn't learn the lesson after my Saturn return at age 30, which we all go through. And then I decided I was going to have another cycle of that for about 15 years. That's not fun. Okay. So we don't want that to happen to you. And you are being blessed at this time, all right? Just to let those things go and to be more into your spiritual practices. Sound healing would be good for you at this time, listening to sound frequency, doing hypnotherapy, real deal, true healing practices, okay? And also, if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, walking outside in nature could be a great astrological remedy to you, or being around water, taking salt baths as these things are detoxing out of your life could definitely help you sleep better at night. If you do take showers at night, that would be better for you, just because you're kind of wash off that energy. So looking at your spiritual health, is your spiritual health matching your physical health? Right? Or are we only into our spiritual health, but we treat our body terrible, right? And we eat cake, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not saying that that happens, but you know what I mean. Or are we in such good practices, right? And everything is organized and perfect, letting go of that release, right? And just trusting that, you know what, I'm going to put this out there anyway. And I hope that whatever's supposed to happen comes of it. That is also trusting and knowing that, you know, whatever you are doing is going to be in positive, can't think of the word right now, the results from doing some of these healthy behaviors behind the scenes. So even though we're not going to eat one salad and everything's going to be all right, we're going to lose 50 pounds, it's over time. What are we doing with our practices, with our day-to-day, with our work habits? Are we working too much and not spending too much time in our spiritualness? Are we trying to be controlling too much of that thing that's trying to leave our life, right? And we're holding on to it, letting it go. A good astrological remedy for you, Aries, because you do control fire, is to write things down and to burn it, that you want to let go of. And I've said this to a lot of the signs, but I think that this resonates with you. Walking in nature and crying, that is a good astrological remedy for you. And just doing some stuff behind the scenes so that you feel a little bit more comfortable and going out into the community. If you don't feel like going out, don't pretend. Okay, stay in your solitude so that you can get the clarity that you need, and we don't have all these distractions around that maybe could cause us to be angry and maybe cause us to not look at the things that we want to be looking at. Okay. So if you got something out of this, Aries, please like this video and comment below how this eclipse is affecting you most personally, what is closing out in your life so that something else can come in. And I started this little walk club, I guess, last week called Earthy Girl Fitness. And we meet, if you live in Greensboro or High Point area in North Carolina, I teach this little class, which is just a little walking club that we started last week on Tuesdays at 5:30 at Jamestown Park. And you can look up that address online. And then at 6 a.m. on Fridays, we meet at the Environmental Center. Now, the Environmental Center is a little dark, but, you know, we can use a flashlight in order to go to some of these remote areas. And we get to see a lot of animals at that time. I see deer, I see birds, I see I think I've seen turtles. I've seen a raccoon before in the morning. So I love walking in the woods in the morning. And I'm also doing an astrology workshop at Enchanted Kitchen on September 21st. So if you are new to astrology, this workshop actually goes over how to do some basic stuff in your chart. And it's not going to be too overwhelming. So this is for beginners, and it's from 1 to 2. We learn basic stuff. I think anything over that is going to be too much. So you're going to learn your rising sign, your moon sign, what that means. You're also going to be learning the basic house systems and what all they govern. So it's scratching the surface a little bit. Then from 2 to 6, I will be doing personalized readings. Walk-ins are welcome. However, I do have some lists that are on my link tree below if you would like to visit that, so that you can make an astrological appointment with me outside of this time if you need to. So I am doing astrology readings on Tuesday and Thursday nights, but if you need a more personalized reading and those times don't meet with you and your schedule, just send me an email and I'll be more than happy to help you out there. And my information is in the description box below if you would like to make an appointment with me. And I hope everybody is having a happy full moon lunar eclipse today. And remember, these energies are with us for the next 6 months as we look at our physical health, as we look at our routines and our organization, and as we look at anything closing out of our lives and how we're bringing in creativity and spirituality into the equation so that some of these waters, they don't get so crazy and tumultuous, so we don't know how to navigate. All right, magical people, thank you so much. And I hope that you have a great week. And my name is Chrissy Smith. This is 9 Lives Energy. And together we energize your body from the inside out. Thanks so much.